What if I told you that you are about 5 minutes away from having Claude, the same AI that can write code, analyze documents, and reason through complex problems, responding to your API calls? No complex setup, no PhD required. Just a few lines of code and you're building with one of the most capable language models on the planet. I'm going to show you exactly how to make that first API call. And by the end of this video, you'll have working code you can steal for your own projects. Before we write any code, let's talk about why you'd pick Claude over other options. Claude excels at nuanced reasoning, following complex instructions, and handling long documents. We're talking up to 200 tokens of context. It's also remarkably good at coding tasks. The API is clean, well documented, and Anthropic has been shipping improvements at a rapid pace. If you're building anything that requires thoughtful AI responses, Claude deserves a serious look. First things first. You need an API key. Head to console.anthropic.com and create an account if you haven't already. Once you're in, click on API keys in the sidebar, then create key. Give it a descriptive name like my first project. Copy that key immediately. You won't see it again. Anthropic gives you some free credits to start so you can experiment without entering payment details right away. Let's set up a fresh project. I'm using TypeScript because the type definitions make working with the API much smoother. You get auto-complete for everything. Create a new directory, initialize npm, and install the Anthropic SDK. This official SDK handles authentication, retries, and typing for you. Quick TypeScript setup. Create a tsconfig file with these settings. We're targeting ES 2020 for modern JavaScript features, using Node Next for module resolution, and enabling strict mode because we're not animals. This config will save you headaches down the road. Never hardcode API keys. Create a .env file and add your key there. Then immediately add .env to your GI tignore. If you accidentally commit this key to a public repo, you'll have a very bad day. The SDK automatically reads from the Anthropic API key environment variable, so we don't need any extra configuration. Now the fun part. Create your main file and import the Anthropic client. When you instantiate it without arguments, it automatically picks up your API key from the environment. That's it. One line and you're connected. The client object is your gateway to everything Claude can do. Claude uses the Messages API. It's a conversation-based interface where you send an array of messages and get a response. Every request needs 3 things: the model you want to use, a max on tokens limit for the response, and your messages array. The model string follows a simple pattern. Claude 3, followed by the variant and a date stamp. Sonnet is the sweet spot for most use cases. Fast, capable, and cost-effective. Here's your first real API call. We call client messages.create with our parameters. The messages array contains objects with a role, either user or assistant, and content. For a simple request, content is just a string. We're asking Claude to explain recursion, and we're capping the response at 1024 tokens. The await keyword is crucial. This is an async operation that hits Anthropic's servers. Let's run it. We use TS node to execute TypeScript directly without a build step. And there it is. Claude responds with a full explanation. Notice the response structure. We get an ID, the model used, a content array with the actual text, stop, reason, telling us why it stopped, and usage stats showing token consumption. That usage object is important for tracking costs. In real applications, you usually just want the text. The content array can contain different block types: text, tool use, and others. For a simple text response, grab the first element and check its type. Here's a clean helper that extracts just the text. with proper TypeScript narrowing, so you don't get type errors. System prompts are how you shape Claude's behavior. This is where you define the persona, set rules, and provide context that applies to the entire conversation. Add it as a top-level parameter in your request. Here, I'm telling Claude to act as a senior developer who gives concise explanations with code examples. Notice how this changes the response style dramatically. It becomes more focused, more practical. Real applications need back and forth conversations. You do this by building up the messages array, alternating between user and assistant messages. Each new request includes the full conversation history. Claude doesn't remember previous API calls, so you maintain context by sending everything each time. This is your conversation state management. Waiting for the full response can feel slow for users. Streaming fixes this. Tokens arrive as they're generated, just like ChatGPT's interface. Change create to stream, and you get an async iterator. Loop through the events and look for content, block, delta, events. Those contain the actual text chunks. Write them to std out without new lines, and you get that satisfying typewriter effect. Watch what streaming looks like in the terminal. The text appears word by word, sometimes character by character. This perceived speed improvement is huge for user experience. Even if total time is the same, users feel like something is happening immediately. Every production chat interface uses streaming for this reason. Production code needs proper error handling. The SDK throws typed errors you can catch and handle specifically. API error is the base class. You get status codes and error messages. Rate limit errors, back off and retry. Authentication errors, check your key. Validation errors, fix your request parameters. Here's a robust pattern that handles the common cases. A few tips from building real applications. First, always set reasonable max tokens. Don't request 4196 if you expect 100 words. Second, use temperature to control creativity. 0 for factual tasks, higher for creative ones. Third, cache your client instance. Don't create new ones per request. Fourth, log your usage stats. Token costs add up quickly at scale. Finally, test with the cheapest model first, then upgrade when you need more capability. Let me give you a complete, copy-paste ready example that ties everything together. This is a simple chat function with streaming, system prompts, and proper error handling. Clone this, swap in your use case, and you've got a working Claude integration. The code for this video is linked in the description. Grab it and start building. You just learned 3 things that'll get you building with Claude immediately. How to make basic API calls with the Messages API. How to use system prompts to shape Claude's behavior, and how to implement streaming for responsive user experiences. Your next step is learning about tool use. That's where Claude can call your functions and interact with external systems. Watch that video next. If this helped you, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the rest of this AI engineering series. Drop a comment. What are you building with Claude? I want to know.